Detroit. How you doing today? Today I want to emphasize in this lesson the sharp 5, sharp 9 chord. That's a dominant chord. And we're going to look at that chord in all 12 keys, figure out how to voice it, and then figure out where to use it, what's its application. This is one of my favorite chords, by the way. Let's look at it in the key of C. Here it is. That's what the sound is like. Let's name these voices. My left hand is just playing octaves, or I can play down here. So I'm voicing this chord 3, sharp 5, flat 7, and sharp 9. So here's my shell. That makes it a dominant chord. And then you have the sharp 5 and the sharp 9. And it'll resolve nicely to its, so I'm on a C7 sharp 5, so it wants to go to F. That's the sound we're after. So let's go down here, and I'm going to go slow. Get your pencil out. Put your finger on the pause button, and let's voice this chord in all 12 keys. Same chord I just played, only an octave lower. That's a C7, sharp 5, sharp 9. Here it is in D flat. Left hand, right hand. Here it is in D. Here it is in E flat. Here it is in E. Here it is in F. And here it is in G flat. Here it is in G. Same number, just a different key. Here it is in A flat. Here it is in A. Here it is in B flat. And B. And we're back to C again. So that's your first step. You want to get all 12 of those voicings. So until now, I just made a video on fluency. So I won't repeat myself. You want to work that until you can do that without too much thought. Got a funny sound to it. And oh, by the way, that's kind of what makes it pretty beautiful, because it's got a funny sound. It's got tension in there, like all dominant chords. So that's your first step. Now you can practice as I did, up the chromatic scale, or you can do lots of ways to do it. You can do circle of fourths. You can do C, and then you can do F. You can do B flat. You can do E flat. You can do A flat. You can do G flat. You can do B. E, A, D, and then G, and we're back to C again. That's a good way to get these things under your finger and also reinforce your circle of fourths and your number system, etc. So that's kind of your first step, is to get it enough repetitions so that you're fluent in that with this chord. Now let's put it to use. Let's say we're playing a 1-6-2-5. So let's go back to the key of C. Here's the one chord. Now normally in diatonic harmony you would see a minor chord on 6. Something like that. But we're going to throw in this fresh new chord to give it a different flavor. We're going to go 1. Now we're going to go dominant 6. Minor 2. Both those dominant chords were sharp 5, sharp 9 chords. Let me play it again. We got a 1. Okay, so if you followed along with, especially in my intermediate series that I have here on this channel, you already know that the 3 minor chord, can substitute for the 1 chord. So let's try that. So here we have in the key of C, E minor. I'm playing an E minor 9. Can substitute for the 1 chord. So that's a 3, 6 at A is a A7 sharp 5 sharp 9. D minor 9. So let's run that a few times. We got you can loop that as long as you want. Now, if you went through my intermediate series, I gave you a different way to play that dominant chord on major anyway. So before we did 2, 5, now that's a G13. Nothing wrong with that. Different sound. Now we're doing 2 different kind of 5. More tools in the toolbox for you. The other thing, we saw this sharp 5, sharp 9 when we were heading for a minor chord. So let's say we're doing a D minor 7 flat 5. This is where we saw that G7 sharp 5 sharp 9, but that we took to a minor chord. Hopefully you're following along with that. But this time we're going to take it to major or minor. A lot of times when you see a minor 7 flat 5 chord, that's a signal that you're in some kind of minor key, or that's the 2 chord of minor tonality. But it works with major keys as well. So we got now let's take this same 1-6-2-5 or 3-6-2-5 to all 12 keys. Now that'll make the video a little bit long, but let's do a couple of keys. Now we're in the key of F. Let's do this. 1. There's a 6 chord. That's a D7 sharp 5 sharp 9. Now we got a 2 chord. Let's do a 3 chord. Do the 6 sharp 5 sharp 9 to a 2. And we are in. So your job now is to take that progression, that 1-6-2-5 or 3625 to all 12 keys. You want to do one more? Okay, sure. Let's try B flat. One of my favorite keys. There's the 6th chord. 2, 5. There's a 3 chord. We're in the key of B flat. 2. And we're back to 1 again. So you're not only getting your fingers around this chord, you're getting your head around it as well. Now, you heard me in the Fluency video. Now your job is to do reps. Reps, reps. Play this 100 times until it gets into your subconscious mind. The other thing is, okay, we need to apply this to something. And this chord can be applied wherever you want, wherever you see a dominant chord. I don't know, let's take a song. Let's take Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So that song, if I got it right, it starts on the 1 chord to the 6th chord. We're in the key of E flat. Somewhere. That's a G minor. And you could have played an E flat 7 there. Why? Because you're hitting for A flat. Now, it's not my job to teach this song. I'm just looking for a place to stick this chord in. So now, I'm on a 2 chord. That chord wants to go here. But I could have done this. There's that C7, sharp 5, sharp 9. Now I'm on a C7. Now I'm paying homage to the melody here, but I could have went here. Could have went clone. Now I see another dominant chord here, and I could certainly throw. So pull out your favorite big book or your favorite songs that you know how to play, and let's start inserting some of these chords. It does add a different flavor to your dominant chords. Actually, you can write a whole book on dominant chords. I mean, a lot of things you can do, but this is one of them. This is one of my favorite ones. Now, just to wind this up, it doesn't take that long to explain it, but it takes a long time to get mastery over it. Here's the voicing in C, in case you missed it. Here's the voicing in D flat, D, E flat, B, F, G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, and we're back to C again. Let's look at this chord in C, and I'm pretty much done for the day. I could have played octaves here, or I could have played some kind of shell. I can actually take you off and play tritones here. In my left hand, that's a tritone. Your choice. Especially if you got a bass, excuse me, if you got a bass player, you can go here. Now, if you have all of that, which I just explained, that's a lot. And you want some more? What do you want to do more with this chord? You certainly can. Most chords, if you see 4 voices in your left hand, you got 4 inversions. Usually, I just worry about 2 of them. So, now make sure you have all of what I said before you even attempt this. So you see the top 2 voices, that B flat and that E flat. You can play it here. Same chord. Now the flat 7 is on the bottom. Here the 3 is on the bottom. Now the flat 7 is on the bottom. And you can do that with all 12 of these. In other words, once you have this voicing with the 3rd on the bottom down, pretty good. Now what you want to do is take this E flat, this top voice, and this voice. Both of them are coming down to here. And that too will resolve. So I'm on a C7, sharp 5, sharp 9. So now I have C flat 7, sharp 9, and the 3, and the sharp 5's on the top. Now watch how that resolves nicely into F. So that too you wanna run that. Or now it's a lot to try to get both of those under your fingers. So my suggestion is just work on this one. Once you have that, now you can come over here and get this one. That is the dominant chord, sharp 5, sharp 9 chord. Work with that. Leave a comment in the comment section below here and let me know if that was helpful to you, and we will see you on the next video. This is Mike from Detroit signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.